The COVID-19 crisis has widened the gap between rich and poor. Oxfam says that billionaires have increased their wealth over the past year. For the world's poorest, it's likely to take a decade to recover from the economic fallout of the pandemic.
The COVID-19 crisis has made the super rich even richer. This is according to a report by Oxfam entitled The Inequality Virus. The top 10 billionaires have collectively seen their wealth increase by $540 billion. That's enough to prevent anyone from falling into poverty due to the pandemic and pay for a coronavirus vaccine for everyone on Earth. The two billionaires who saw the largest increase, Amazon's Jeff Bezos at the top of the list, increased his net wealth by $78.2 billion, while Elon Musk saw a $128.9 billion jump.
During the pandemic, the 10 billionaires made $500 billion in that period. At the other end of the spectrum, we know millions of people have lost jobs, livelihoods, a roof over their heads. So the contrast is enormous. And we know that this year inequality is set to rise in almost every country in the world, and the greatest rise since records began.
Also among the 10, Chinese entrepreneur Zhongshan Shan and India's Mukesh Ambani. Mr. Zhong made billions overnight after his pharmaceutical company and bottled water company went public. That allowed him to overtake Mr. Ambani as the richest man in Asia, earning $71 billion in 2020. Mr. Ambani, on the other hand, made $12.3 million every hour during the pandemic, while around 24% of the people in India were earning less than $41 per month. In fact, Indian billionaires saw a surge in wealth by 35% during the lockdown, catapulting them to the 6th in the world. That's despite stock markets suffering the worst shock in a century back in March, destroying billions of financial assets. However, within just 9 months, 1,000 of the richest people had recouped their losses. That's in contrast with the 2008 financial crisis, when it took them 5 years to recover. But it's a bleak situation for the world's poorest. Oxfam says it could take more than a decade for them to recover. Recent estimates show that the number of those living less than $5.50 a day may have increased to up to 500 million last year. More than 2/3 of those newly forced into poverty are most likely in South Asia, East Asia, and the Pacific. Oxfam says the pandemic has marked a pivotal point and urged governments to act to reduce inequality. That includes investing in free universal healthcare, education, and introducing higher taxes on billionaires and corporations.
This inequality is just rising. So to redistribute, we need to make sure we are taxing appropriately. And with that, we would raise enough funds to make sure we protect everybody.
The World Report comes in time to coincide with the World Economic Forum's virtual Davos event, where leaders will find innovative solutions to help drive a robust recovery over the next year.